Okay, as I thought, Mission 5 is a crosswind landing. And this, again, especially if you're coming from a jet, this can be a bit of a bitch. There's two ways, excuse me, two ways to land in a crosswind. You can see how this Mustang is banked pretty sharply into the wind, right? Now that's coming in a... That's actually a pretty good illustration of it. Let's say the wind is coming from the left into the plane like this. You're flying through that massive air, which means if you just fly straight and level, you will drift off to the right as you're carried by the wind. Even though you're pointing the plane straight into the air, you just go off to the right. Well, one way to compensate for that is to yaw, like point your nose at an angle to the runway, so you compensate for the wind drift, which is how you do when you're navigating. But if you do that while you're landing, it's called a crabbed landing. They land like a crab. So imagine if this Mustang was yawed, it was flying wings level, but its nose was pointing off to the left. It's a crab landing, which is legit, but the challenge to that is right before you touch down, you got to use rudder to point the nose straight parallel to the runway. But it's dangerous because if you don't do that just right, you're going to get a side load on the landing gear and it can snap them, or stress them, or bend them, and you'll go, snap them off to the right. In P-51, that's extremely expensive. It's expensive in any plane. So another option is the side slip landing, which is what you see in this picture. You can roll into the wind to compensate for the wind drift, to put your lift vector kind of into the wind like that. And use your rudder, you can see how that's skewed to the right a little bit, to keep your nose pointed, your lateral axis, your nose in line with the runway. And it takes a lot of practice, and I'm not an expert at the side slip landing, but we'll see what we can do. If you watch my BF-109 attempt at that, of course I crashed it, but it gave me credit for the mission anyway. I don't know why. But, alright, let's see if I can see around this message here. Where's our runway? It's off to the right, maybe? And it gives me some gates, but I may ignore them and fly a pattern around the runway to get a kind of an idea of what the air is doing. Whoa. Okay, so I'll be flying an overhead pattern.
Much like the previous landing mission, but I've climbed 10 meters per second crosswind to give you a headache. Goodbye.
Yeah, to give you a headache. See, the text says to make things a little more interesting for you. Okay, so we see the wind is coming from our left, which means that's how we're going to have to compensate for it when we go into land. So if I point my nose straight to do a simulated landing here, see how I am pointing to the left, but drifting off to the right like that. So what I want to do is roll left, yaw right with my rudder. Maybe a bit more with the rudder here, or a little less bank. It's kind of hard to balance everything, obviously. In fact, it's kind of a bitch. So, like I said, I'm not the best at this. I know the concept, but putting it into practice is going to be... yeah, it may suck. I may crash. Full prop RPM. Drop my power a little bit. I dropped 2 stages of flaps. Chop my throttle back. Once I get below 200, I'll drop my gear. And that's all going to change how the wind acts on the aircraft. Another setting of flaps. Probably going way too fast. And as you notice on the downwind leg, well, it's not really... it's just called the downwind leg regardless of which way the wind is actually pointing. You notice I'm drifting off to the other side. So that's kind of... I need to roll to the right, I think, and then yaw to the roll right. Damn, look at that. And if you want to be super fancy, I'll roll way to... Yeah, this may be a bumpy-ass landing. I haven't quite nailed this, but if I do bend my aircraft on landing, you can learn from my mistakes. Full flaps. You know what? I may actually take up a setting of flaps, because that's just another surface for the wind to act on. Damn. Look at that. So, what you learn from this exercise is that airspeed indicated airspeed especially can be quite different from what your ground speed is. You're moving through a massive air at, let's say right now, 105 miles per hour. Your ground speed may be different than that in any given direction. So that's part of what you learn in flight school, how to navigate in Crosswind and stuff. You can use an old school computer called the E6B to figure that out, like how you correct for wind and stuff like that. It's E6B the computer, not the E6B aircraft. And it's just a disc and a card. It's an old analog computer. There's no power, it's just a piece of paper. Or metal, or whatever you happen to make it out of. I'm still moving pretty damn fast. Alright. Yeah, I'm worried less about the gates than lining myself up with the runway, so let's... Man, that wind is really kicking me around. So I want to point my nose to the left. I'm sorry, roll to the left. See, if I kept in straight like this, I could land that way as like a crabbed landing. But what I'm going to try to do... Damn. Side slip it. It's really costing me lift. I'm going to put some more flaps down. So when you land in a side slip, you actually touch down on one wheel only, the wheel that's into the wind. In this case, it would be my left main. At least that's, like I said, that's the concept. A little less rudder, more power, because I'm too low. Throttle a little bit. I'm still too fast, but let's go into the ground effect hopefully soon. A little more right rudder to correct. This may be a bit of a mess. Hang on. Ooh, shit.
Nice job. You made that look easy. You can finish now and move on to some daredevil challenges.
You know what I did? This is inexcusable. And I can't believe I did it. I was busy explaining stuff and not focusing on my damn landing. And I didn't drop my damn gear. So I'll have no idea of knowing whether that would have worked or not. God, that's stupid. Like I said, learn from my mistakes. And I wish I hadn't gotten credit for that mission because I'd like to do it again. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry about that, guys.